Angry Bears Fan Podcast, episode 128. The Chicago Bears are 7-3 and atop the NFC North. Ryan Poles' promise to have us atop the NFC North has finally came true after 4 years, three and some change. Um, but another nail biter as usual. It's been interesting all year. Um, a lot of good, a lot of bad, but at the end of the day, the Bears are 7-3. We're in first in the NFC North. Our destiny is in our hands when it comes to the NFC North and in the playoffs at this point. Um, yeah,
Yeah, I mean, like you said, another nail biter. It was 1917. Before we get into the stats and everything, I mean, I got into a little bit of a TikTok war with somebody, commenting on my videos and stuff like that about, the Bears' negative point differential and, you know, how they're winning close games, but it's not sustainable. They, compared us to last year's Kansas City Chiefs team as well as like the 2021, 2022 Minnesota Vikings. That had a negative point differential and all this other stuff. And I just pointed out to the guy, I was like, you've got to understand that over the last, I don't know, 2 decades, since Lovey, so 15 years, um, since the Lovey era, we have not had any sustainable success. And I don't care about the fact that we're winning close games and barely squeaking by with a negative point differential because over the last 15 years, these are games that we lose. What would your reaction be if we had lost all of these close games as opposed to winning them?
yeah. I mean, that's
You know what I'm
unsustainable
saying? Like,
either.
who cares? They're winning games. And I was like, I'll gladly take a first round blowout exit in the playoffs this year because at least we made the playoffs and this is, something to grow on. It's a completely different team, completely different culture, different coach, different, president and all this other stuff. And that's what's needed. But yeah, going on to the game, 1917, Cairo Santos, game-winning field goals, time expired. Caleb Williams, 16 of 32, 193 yards. He didn't have any touchdowns. DeAndre Swift, 21 carries, 90 yards, good for almost 4.5. And then Cole Kmet led the receiving core with 5 catches for 45 yards. I know Loveland made a couple of catches. Luther Burden made a couple of catches. Luther Burden, outplayed Zacchaeus in terms of snaps. So I think Burden's going to be the number 3 moving forward, which is good. That's what we needed.
Yeah.
But we'll go into some of the bad because there before I'll wait till we get to the bad to bring up the wide receiver drops because that's going to be an issue moving forward. But we'll start with the good. So first and foremost, my first good is going to be Caleb's sack avoidance. It's the Houdini act. He's been doing it all season long. It continues. They did get 2 sacks on, back-to-back plays essentially in one series against Caleb, but for the most part, they should have had him a lot more and they didn't. Left tackle has been a turnstile. Theo Benedict has really struggled in pass pro on that left side, and it didn't help that um, Brian Flores blitzed like 78% of his dropbacks, which is a season high for Brian Flores. Brian Flores has not blitzed that much all year, and he came after Caleb. The Bears still won. The defense's first 53 minutes creating turnovers. They picked off J.J. McCarthy twice. They almost blew it in the last 7 minutes in a repeat of week one. So I'm glad that that didn't happen. The first 53 minutes of the defense was really good, in my opinion. I mentioned the O-line minus Theo Benedict. Again, the interior offensive line of Tooney, Dahlman, Jackson has been really good, and Darnell Wright is still playing like a Pro Bowler. He's borderline All Pro. He's been playing really, really good. And the special teams, final good for this week for me is the special teams. They actually stepped up. They had decent coverage. with the exception of the one punt return that kind of set Minnesota up for the first touchdown. But that was a very clutch kickoff return by Duvernay. With 50 seconds left to go, they saved the best for last. And then Santos obviously making that field goal as time expired. He did miss the 48-yarder earlier in the game, but he made up for it. So those are my good for this week. How about you?
I would say most of what you said. The defense again really good. It sucks that in crunch time, every team's been able to muster it up and just drive it down our throats. But the bend don't break style, the defense was really good. Like you said, a punt return basically set up the first touchdown. They were getting after JJ McCarthy all night. They didn't have a bunch of sacks, but Booker played well. The blitzes were there. The coverage was good. Deshaun Wright with another touchdown. I know we've been tough on him, and you know what I mean. Harsh words have been said, but he's got 4 interceptions. Two of them on JJ McCarthy. One of them was a pick six, I believe, or almost. I can't remember. Was it pick six? Did he score?
I think, yeah, it was
Uh,
a pick six.
and yeah, the defense was just great. Also, another story: Deshaun Wright was on Last Chance U. The coach from Last Chance U, one of the seasons of Last Chance U, got killed. And him and Deshaun Wright were really close. That's what he was crying and kneeling for. So that was just an interesting story. But he played well. He's stepping up big in absences, and it gives us a lot of hope because we're getting T.J. Edwards back. Pro Bowl caliber player. Jalen Johnson might be. I mean, he is coming back. They opened his window. Kyler Gordon's window open. Jalen Johnson was questionable for this game, and the NFL is really serious about those. So if he was questionable, this you know what I mean. If he wasn't for sure wasn't going to play, that he would have been doubtful or out. You really can't fuck around too much with that. So that's good news. He'll be coming back. Kyler Gordon will be coming back playoff time or when we're playing the Packers and the Lions and some of the tougher games we're going to have. So that's good. But I know we harp on the defense in some games they have been a turnstile, but there have been bright spots. I know J.J. McCarthy is young and not much of a passer, but Kevin O'Connell has always schemed up some good shit against us with whoever he's had at quarterback. And it's good to see Dennis Allen bounce back and really play, like you said, a really good like 3 quarters of the game. Very good, but they got to on the fourth quarter. Guys got to step up. They got to dig in the pass rush. These guys got to get there and kind of give the secondary some relief. We got a guy who was on the couch a couple weeks ago. We got practice squad, 4 string caliber guys out there giving us big minutes. Um, but yeah, the defense was good for me. The offense, not so much. I mean, we'll get into the bad, but I just think the special teams was better.
Yeah.
Big kick return. You know what I mean? I'm sure we all felt confident Caleb would have been able to get the 30 yards or 40 yards we needed to score and win anyway. But it's nice to not have to worry about that at all and him just run it down. And you know, what I mean, the game was secured after that. Cairo made a big kick. We really needed it. He missed one basically from a similar spot, a little bit closer. Um, and yeah, another big win. Like you said, we said Ben Johnson said can apologize for wins. We're doing what we're supposed to do. We got to win the game. It's going to be ugly. I agree. It's not sustainable, but that's a problem. If you're a How I Met Your Mother fan like we are, that's a future problem for the future Bears. How sustainable that is. Right now, we got to worry about winning the next game, and our future is in our hands. We're 7-3. I know we were talking about maybe winning 8 or 9 wins, and I could be a hypocrite, I guess now, but I'm that's not acceptable now. So you know what I mean. We got to get 10. Like if we win less than 10 games, I'm barring a horrific injury. Um, I'll be highly disappointed. I mean, we got 7 games left. We got Steelers and Aaron Rodgers, possibly Aaron Rodgers up next. Eagles at Eagles on Black Friday, big game. Um, at Green Bay after that, then Browns at home, Green Bay at home, at San Francisco, and then we close the season out with the Lions at home. I mean, we're definitely. I don't want to say definitely because Miles Garrett's a nightmare, but we got to beat the Browns and we have Shadur Sanders at quarterback. We saw how that went. Um, I'm guessing we see, just being optimistic, we split with Green Bay. I would like to sweep them, but just based on how the season's going, how it's trending, we split with them. We owe the Lions one. They haven't been world beaters. Niners are, you know what I mean? I would say a similar caliber team as us, so not surprising. And Eagles will be a good test. We go out there and give them a good show, but there's 3 wins in there. I mean, I hope Aaron Rodgers doesn't come and put a beat down on us like he's always done. Hopefully that magic has ran out, but I mean, we should beat the Steelers at home. You know what I mean? They're nothing special. Their defense is old. They look slow. They're trending down, and we can put them out of their misery.
Well, I mean, you brought up injuries earlier. You were talking about TJ Edwards and the Bears today actually signed Jalen Reeves-Maybin to their practice squad. Um, and he's a former All-Pro, former Pro Bowl special teams player. I don't know if it's a depth signing because we got to remember TJ Edwards, not only does he have the hamstring injury, but he's also got the broken hand that he had surgery on. Now he could probably play with a club, but with these hamstring injuries
Who
that have
knows?
been going on all year, did they sign this guy to possibly put Edwards on the shelf for 4 weeks and put him on IR? I didn't see an injury report for today yet, so I haven't been able to take a look at it. I've been trying to go on X and try to find it, but X was down earlier today, and I think it kind of got lost in the shuffle. But having Jalen Johnson off of his, opening up his 21-day practice window, before being activated off IR. I don't think he plays this week, but I think he plays either Black Friday or Packers week. Kyler Gordon, same thing. He's able to come off the IR now. I think it's been 4 weeks. They can activate his practice window, get him, going to practice, probably come back for Black Friday. Green Bay as well. So I mean the health it's starting to get there. Hopefully we can see some improvements. That would be fantastic. Having Jalen Johnson back is going to be huge, absolutely huge for this defense. Um, but yeah, I mean, we'll see what happens. We'll get into the bad of this game a little bit here. So I had from my bads, I've only got three. There wasn't a whole lot from me. Um, is Number one is the Bears defense, the last 6, 7 minutes of the game, almost a complete history repeating itself from week one. They had the lead. Minnesota comes back, takes the lead. Except, this time instead of week one, we came out with the victory on the road in Minnesota, which is another big thing I don't think is talked about enough, is that this was a divisional game on the road, and the Bears were able to go in and get that victory.
And like you said, a game
Um,
we normally lose is well, recently last
Absolutely.
half decade we lose this game, and it wasn't pretty. But to find a way to win is that's what good teams do. Like if it's sustainable, who cares? But again, sorry to interrupt, but yeah.
Number two, I talked about it a little earlier. The wide receiver drops. I mean, even Luther Burden dropped one that hit him right in the gut.
Everybody.
A DJ Moore, who is as sure-handed as anybody, he had a drop. I think the Bears had another four or five drops or whatever this game, and that cannot continue to happen. Because I know a lot of people harp on Caleb's completion percentage and playing within the pocket and all this other stuff. I don't care if he plays within the pocket; he's making plays, and he's winning. That's the most important thing. But his wide receivers dropping balls aren't going to help him any. But the one thing that I will say that I did have a bet on here, that is Caleb, is his deep ball accuracy. He missed two throws that you cannot miss.
Layups, yes, I agree. And
One to Rome and one to DJ Moore. And I'm just and it's his feet, it's his footwork in the pocket. It's just he's not balanced when he's in the pocket. So
I don't know. I just
it's
think he's not putting enough arc on it. Like
it's
he's,
fixable. It's
yeah.
fixable, but no, he put too much arc on both overthrows. They weren't bullets. It's just they were just overthrown. And I think he's off balance in the pocket when he's, throwing off his back foot. He's kind of just heaving it up there, and he's got to work on that and get balanced. But those are my three bads for this week. I know you had a couple as well.
I mean, deep ball accuracy definitely. I mean, accuracy in general, the drops don't help. But 60 to 32 is just not going to cut it. So, so we got to figure something out. You got to hit more of the checkdowns. You have to. Again, we know he's young, blah blah yada yada, but it's just the nature of the business. I mean, it's only going to be excuse for maybe a couple more weeks. So, and the real football's coming playoff time. These games are matters, and we can't miss those. Like, we could have had that. We could have put that game away a lot earlier. My bad to be my major one, and you didn't mention is the red zone. So many times we get a turnover, interception. You know what I mean? We're 30 yards out, and it's just we stagnate. Bad penalty, can't put it in. Field goals aren't going to do it. I mean, Cairo Santos got one of the game balls, 4 field goals. We can't. 4 field goals is a bad game unless that you know what I mean. They were deep ones. You know what I mean. He had three that were over 50 or something. But we're kicking 4 field goals. You know what I mean? Under 50-yard field goals. It's just not going to cut it. We're not going to beat the Eagles like that. We're not going to beat the Rams like that. And you know what I mean. Luckily enough, where the defense is putting us in position to be in there, but it's like that just can't keep happening. That is really the story of these games. We play decent early in the early. The defense plays well. They give us good position, and we let these teams hang in there. And you know what I mean. They put one drive together, get one turnover or one big special teams play, and they're right back in it. When we could have put them to bed early in the first half and took the life out of the building and people aren't enthusiastic running punts back when you're losing by 2 or 3 scores. Like
Well,
it's a different game.
that's the one thing we haven't seen yet is a complete game from this team, offense, defense, and special teams. The closest thing we got to it was the Dallas game, and Dallas is Dallas. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
just a bit. Yeah,
They didn't have CeeDee Lamb, but they still had George Pickens and Dak Prescott. You know what I'm saying? Like they
I think it
still
was
were a
just their
good
first game
offense.
with them, and he wasn't ready. I think like if we played the Cowboys right now, it wouldn't go there.
Yeah. So I mean, we haven't had a complete game yet. So that's kind of one of those things where it's like, it factors into the point differential that we were talking about. The Bears right now have a negative point differential with a 7-3 record. I would like to, and a lot of that has to do with the just absolute ass beating we took against Detroit in week 2. But when you look at it, we've talked about it for weeks and weeks and weeks now. These games against the Commanders, these games against the Raiders, the games again, you know what I'm saying? Where we're escaping with 1 point victories when it should have been 10-point blowouts. All because we're not putting things together and they need to play complementary football. I mean, it's gotten to the point now where the offense can bail out the defense, sure, but it's just we need to play complete football.
Yeah,
It's just that's the only way. We need to win a game by 10 or more points and not, have to have, Iceman Caleb Williams and the cardiac kid Chicago Bears
yeah,
winning, on the last drive of the game. I mean, those are fun, but as a fan, I want to go into like the last 6 minutes of the fourth quarter thinking to myself, yeah, this game's over for the
yeah. Caleb,
Bears.
and well, just in Caleb still has to be clutch and drive down the field. We just don't need a touchdown. He just got to put him
Yeah,
away, and he's shown that. But yes, like,
4 minute
and it'd
offense.
be different if we were coming back. But it's like we're watching the game and we're pulling our hair out because we should be winning by 10, 13 points, and we're losing by 3 because of just missed field goal, penalties in the red zone, not capitalizing on turnovers, and then a big special teams play, and then bam, we're losing with the fourth, like in a game against JJ McCarthy, who hasn't thrown for more than 150 yards. Um, so yeah, we have to figure that out, but nonetheless, we're 7-3, 7-3, and first place in the division. The NFC North
Yes.
is one of the best divisions in all of football. They're having a down year, but still basically 4 teams that are still in the hunt for the playoffs. 3 looking like for sure they're going to make it at this point, barring something crazy. Um, and yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready to play the Packers. Um,
Well, though, let's not get ahead of ourselves because we got week 12 coming up and it's the Steelers and it's an old friend in Aaron Rodgers if he plays. Now,
yes,
if there was any other team on the schedule, I don't think he plays with his wrist
I
injury. I think he
100%
sits
agree.
out.
I think he's going to
But
play.
but since it's the Bears, I think he's going to play. And I wouldn't have it any other way. And I'm sure Aaron Rodgers wouldn't have it any other way. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
But this is a good measuring stick game because this is, a team that's got a winning record. You know, they are what they are, but they do have a winning record.
they're not going to lay down.
No,
Not
and
going to
they're
do. Yeah,
first place in their division.
they need it.
So they need it. Baltimore's right on their heels. You know what I'm saying? But this is Aaron Rodgers. I feel like he's going to go into this game extremely confident, and I think we need to be able to go in there and beat his old ass. Like we have to make a statement. Ben Johnson's got to make a statement. Dennis Allen's got to make a statement that, hey, we're not the same old Chicago Bears. You're not going to come into this building and you're not going to own us like you used to, all those years in Green Bay. It's just not going to happen.
Yes.
Um, they need to do that. And the defense, the Steelers defenses, yeah, they're getting old, but you know what? They're still really good. Ever since they got Kyle Duggars from New England, who's played absolutely amazing since they made that trade. They still got TJ Watt. TJ Watt's still TJ Watt, regardless. And is Jalen Ramsey suspended for this game?
Did they? I don't think they suspended him yet, did
They
they?
suspended Jamar Chase,
Okay. Or yeah.
but I don't know if they suspended Jalen Ramsey. But either way, these are all pro guys. You know what I'm saying? So the offense has got to be able to run the ball. Let's control the clock. Let's keep Aaron Rodgers off the field. The Steelers' offense isn't the same offense. Yeah, they got DK Metcalf, they got Jalen Warren, and of course they got Aaron Rodgers. But let's keep them off the field. Let's not make this a close game. This should be a game that we win by 10 points. If we play our brand of football, the defense has to, stay, especially with Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers is very good with the hard count. You have to play disciplined football when you're playing Aaron Rodgers on the defensive side of the ball. Don't give him any fucking, free plays because if he does, he's got DK Metcalf that he could throw the ball 40 yards to. And DK Metcalf's going to win a one-on-one against Deshaun Wright. It's just going to happen. Um,
Feel bad for him.
Now, Deshaun Wright's lengthy. He's 6'5". You know what I'm saying? That's tall for a corner. 6'5" is tall for a corner. But, DK Metcalf is still DK Metcalf. I have my concerns about this game. Sean, if I'm being honest with you, just because, like I said, it is Aaron Rodgers. He knows the Bears very well. He knows Soldier Field very well. But I feel like this is a game that is probably going to come down to the fourth quarter again. And I want Caleb Williams and the Bears offense to put up, I don't, I want them to put up 28 points. That's my number, 28 this week. You need 4 touchdowns.
I
Let's make a
think we're
statement
gonna need.
against
I
the
don't know about.
Steelers.
We're gonna need 21 plus. Aaron Rodgers is old, but he's gonna have his confidence. They have competent players out there. Our defense, you can march up and down the field on them. So, um, it'll be interesting to see how it goes. He is banged up, but I do think, like you said, he's gonna suit up for this one. He's not gonna let this game go by. And he's got a reputation. I think everyone knows. I think he knows everyone's going to give him shit if he sits out. You know what I mean? When we're finally cooking, and he's like, you know what, I'm not going to play this time. So I want to see him out there. This is going to be a fun one. I am worried too because this is one of those, I don't know, trap games the word, but just one of those games where we're very confident we're better than the Steelers. Got a better record. We've been playing better. We got a better team. Um, but they need this win. They're well coached. They got a Hall of Fame quarterback, got one of the best pass rushers in the league. They got multiple Hall of Famers on defense. Um, so they're not, and like I said, when you started off, they're not going to lay down. So we're going to have to go out there. If we get turnovers, we got to capitalize. And yeah, 28, 30 points, convincing victory going into playing the Eagles on Friday. We need that confidence. If we play bad right now, then we got to go Eagles on a huge primetime game. Everybody's going to be watching.
Well, it's
After
going to
we
be
got
interesting too. It's going to be interesting too because Bears fans and Eagles fans this year so far have had a have had an alliance, so to speak. Um, and it's actually been refreshing because I have been collaborating and speaking to a lot of Philadelphia Eagles fans and stuff like just kind of, trying to get a little bit of insight as to how this alliance started in the first place. And I know it's because we played, the NFC East and we've pretty much swept them besides the,
the Eagles, yeah,
Philadelphia
and vice
Eagles now.
versa.
You know what I'm saying? So it's been kind of nice. We've been doing each other favors. But that game's coming on Black Friday. That's going to be an interesting week when we do our podcast. Week 12, Sean. Tell me what's your final score prediction?
I'm gonna go Bears 24, Steelers 20.
I don't know what the line is on the game. I don't know what the over under is right now. I guess we would have to see how the weather is. From what I have seen, I think we're supposed to get some snow later in the weekend. I don't know if it's going to be
Come
Sunday
on.
night or if it's going to be, you know what I'm saying, during the game. But I think this is a game where if the weather does affect it, and the Bears have to do a lot of running, it's going to be a low scoring affair. But like I said, I still want to see 28 points. So I'm gonna say 28, and I think the defense puts the clamps down on Aaron Rodgers and the Steelers offense. I'm gonna say 28-17.
It's
They need a 10-point victory somewhere.
it's Bears minus 2.5, 44. So that basically means the
So
Bears
your
are
24-20
yeah.
is pretty much what
And
Vegas.
but that Vegas is saying Bears are underdogs because you get 3 for being at home. So that's really the Steelers are plus 1. You know what I mean? So we'll see. I don't really believe that, but I guess Aaron Rodgers, TJ Watt. Um, but yeah, Bears minus 2.5 over under 44. So yeah, it's right around what I thought. Um, but yeah, I think that's how it's going to go. I don't think it's going to be one of those Vikings games where like we had the game in the bag the whole time and then we just fourth quarter we blew it. But
They need
I
they
just
need a statement. They need a statement win. In my opinion, I think they need to win, and they need a 10-point victory somewhere. I think they get it this week.
you know,
You ready for factor cap for week 11 overreaction, sir?
yes sir.
All right, number one, Kansas City's missing the playoffs.
I was just watching a video about that and I didn't realize how tight it's going to be. Let me pull up their schedule. What are they 5-4 right now? Right,
They're 5-5.
5-5. Ooh, put Colts next. Yeesh. Colts, Cowboys, Texans, Chargers, Titans, Broncos, Raiders. Ugh,
Oof.
they
Maybe 3 wins.
they can only lose one. I mean, I don't know about maybe. I mean, the Colts, Chiefs are playing bad, but would it be a shock if they beat the Colts? Like Colts or Cowboys, they won 2, 3, 4, 5. I give them 10 wins. I think if I don't, does 10-7 not get them in? I think they'll be 10-7.
That's gonna be tough.
I would say they'll
I,
be 10-7. I don't know if that gets them in, so I'll say fact because I think that will. I would have to look at the standings.
I'm gonna say fact as well. I don't think they make the playoffs. They're definitely not winning the West,
No,
which
not
means they
winning
gotta
the West.
fall. They gotta fall into a wild card spot, and I don't know. I mean, it's the Colts have the South on lockdown. The AFC North, technically Pittsburgh is still ahead of them. I
By
did,
2 games, right?
yeah. Did Baltimore beat Kansas City head to head, or did Kansas City beat Baltimore? I don't
I think
know. I
Kansas
don't know
City
if they
beat
played.
Baltimore. Did they play? Let me see. I just had the Chiefs schedule. God damn it. I thought they did. I don't know. They played so much. No, they played the Bills. They lost to the Bills.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
they
another
beat
one.
the Ravens 37-20.
So they do have a tiebreaker over Baltimore, but they did lose to Buffalo. Buffalo's second in their conference right now, behind New England. I mean, it's gonna be tough.
Yes. Oof.
Number two, the Baltimore Ravens will win the AFC North.
I think they will, fact, because I think we're going to beat the Steelers right here, and they're the Ravens, so they're going to get on their horse and start. The Steelers on the decline. Bengals are done for. Browns just pushed a door in, so they're fucked. So it's theirs to lose, even if they, what I mean, are only 9-7. I think that might be enough. Um,
Well, you brought up Shadur, number three. The Browns should stick with Shadur Sanders for the rest of the year just to see what he's got.
of course, I mean, I at this point, Dylan Gabriel got 5 games. I mean, he's clearly not it. He's like Tyson Bates, backup quarterback. You know what I mean? The kid can go out there and run your offense, but he's not going to win you any games. And although Shador was what 4 of 16 or something,
Yes.
um, and he wasn't great, obviously. In my opinion, from what I watched, I only watched half of the fourth quarter. He looked more like an NFL quarterback than Dylan Gabriel. He can get outside the pocket. He's got a live arm. He was very inaccurate, but that's what happens when you get thrust into the game in the in the second half when you didn't practice. So yes, I think they should play him for the rest of the year. No harm, no foul. I mean, you need to find
What's the
out.
worst? Yeah, what's the worst that could happen? You're not
And
playing
and
for a playoff
and
spot.
in reality, it's like, do they really want to be drafting a quarterback next year? They got Billy Gabriel, Shador Sanders, and some rookie who's supposed to
And
be the.
Deshaun Watson still.
Yeah, it's like so. I mean, and like I said, he looks the part. I always was on the he's overhyped train, but I did not think he's not an NFL quarterback. We see Jacoby Brissett out there playing quality football.
Jacoby Brissett had a hell of a game.
Yes, I mean there's guys out. He's got the talent. I mean, if you call the right plays, the guys play good around him, and they've got Miles Garrett. So I mean, what's the harm? But I would
Their
like to see him.
defense is still really good.
Yes, I would like to see him out there, playing with the ones, getting a full week of practice, the game plan. Them installing stuff he likes to do instead of shit that Dylan Gabriel does. And we'll see. But I will not give him that excuse that people are trying to give him, even though I just named off all those things. That's the life of a backup quarterback. You get fucking thrown in there, and you got to fucking nut up or shut up. Like Tom Brady got thrown out there. He didn't get any fucking reps that week. That's just what it is. You got to be ready when it's your time. And unfortunately, he wasn't. But it was also against the Ravens, a Super Bowl contender, even though their record doesn't show it. Wasn't like he was playing against the fucking bums, and it didn't work. But luckily for him, the season's down the drain, and it's not like he cost them anything. So he's going to get another time to go out there. And as we're seeing, there's a shift. I don't know if it's in the eras where throwing these young guys out there isn't working anymore. We went through like a 10-year period where it did work, or maybe we're just blessed an era of really good guys like Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, you throw CJ Stroud in there, Joe Burrow, and you know what I mean. But we've seen it not work with Justin Fields and a whole host of other guys who
Joe
might,
Burrow is still my favorite quarterback in the NFL right now.
and it didn't work for some of these guys who are ultra talented, and we've seen them do good things. And maybe if they got to sit and develop and learn for a couple years, they might have been good. But the NFL's got a development issue, and I think they throw guys out there too soon and give up on guys too soon. You've been uh, preaching for Sam Darnold all year. He's playing amazing, and 2 years ago, somebody would have laughed in your face hysterically, and we all would have said it was righteous if you would have said that Sam Darnold will be playing like he's playing right now in Seattle. Like, you know what I mean? If you were like, yeah, he's going to be a free agent on Seattle, get max money, playing like an MVP, you would have got laughed. You know what I mean? Like, people would have thought you were crazy. Um, so I think the NFL is now so much more cerebral, and you can't just go out there and be talented. That's why the Joe Flacco's and some of these Kobe Brissett's guys who, I mean, Joe Flacco's a Super Bowl champion, but guys you thought were, going to be backups and third stringers and going out there playing good because it's more of a mind thing than a talent thing, and these young guys just aren't ready. Um, but that being said, I think Shador should get the rest of the year. Let's see what he's got. I mean, it probably
I
won't go.
agree.
It probably won't go well, but maybe it could go better. I mean, Dylan Gabriel's been mid. Like Dylan Gabriel, again, I had nothing against him either, and I thought, if you think he's better than Shador, by all means, but he's clearly a backup quarterback. Like, and maybe Shador is too, but he's got the talent to be a starter. You know what I mean? He's evaded sacks. He can push the ball downfield. He's a lot bigger than Dylan Gabriel, and he's a pedigree. And this is the reason you draft him. He's prime time son. If he turns out to be good, how much money are you gonna make? You know what I mean? So, what you got to see him. You got like I don't. You got to throw caution to win. Your season's over anyway. Like guys aren't playing for anything.
Before we move on, you brought up a couple of, things, and it just reminded me. Just real quick, give me your gut feeling. Does Kyler Murray get traded, and do the Cincinnati Bengals trade Joe Burrow in the offseason?
Joe Burrow's not getting traded. I do think Kyler Murray will be traded or cut, or I don't. You know what I mean? I don't think he'll be on the Cardinals next year. I think that's kind of soured on him. I think he might end up in like New Orleans or something. I don't know. I think he's still got a lot of talent. I don't know if he just soured his welcome. I think for a lot of guys, a change of scenery is good. You know, it wasn't working there. He's got these Call of Duty meme things going on about him. Some things people are saying about his work ethic that unfortunately can only have been leaked out through the Arizona Cardinals organization. And the organization would only do that if they didn't really like you. So I do think his time's done there. I don't know if he's done. I mean, he's injury prone. This injury kind of felt like they didn't want him to get hurt because they wanted to trade him type of thing. But who knows?
Soft benching.
but I do think he'll be somewhere else. And I mean, I think he's got the talent. We've seen him play pretty good. I mean, it wasn't there this year, but um, yes, I do think he'll be traded for sure. Joe Burrow, no, he's from there. They already paid him. They paid Jamar Chase. I mean, they're kind of all in on Joe Burrow. It'd be
They
like,
just don't. Their team is so bad. The only reason why I brought that up is because their team
but you
is so
get
bad.
cap penalty though. Like, you can't just trade Joe Burrow anyway. He's got a makes a ton of money. Like, so you can't like give
Unless the other team picks up, I think they can pay.
some of
Uh,
it, but you would still be at like a salary cap issue, and they would have to give you like 5 draft picks in the current draft for them to be able to like field the team type of thing.
I,
And then like, is that going to make Jamar Chase happy? They're like neighbors, so it's like I don't know. That was just
it's a
I mean,
business.
it's tough. And I say it all the time, availability is the best ability. I mean, I like Joe Burrow a lot, and like you said, I think he is very good, but he had one really good year at LSU. He had that good year where they made it to the Super Bowl, but outside of that, he's had
He's
some
been
health.
hurt.
He's been hurt, and it sucks. Like, I mean, but that's a lot of money invest in one guy who has shown hasn't played. He hasn't played an entire. He's only played an entire season once.
Yep.
So, like,
Number 4. There's not a more entertaining quarterback in the NFL than Jameis Winston.
yeah, I would say like I mean, he's still pretty exciting to watch when he actually plays, but just all the shenanigans, the touchdown dance was great, the interviews
That's
were
what I'm
great.
saying. I love Jameis
I
Winston
love
as a
Jameis too
personality.
because he's like a football guy. Like, yeah, I think a lot of guys now aren't really like that. Where like they just love football, and I think Jameis embodies what we all want to see is somebody being grateful that they get to play football.
Like,
Like, I
that's
think it's
very
like
well
I
said.
don't want to tell these guys how to do their job, but it's like, dude, you guys are blessed. It's a blessing. Like, you guys
Yes.
get to play football. I understand it's hard. I couldn't do it. All that stuff. It's still a job, and you know what I mean. I know I have a job and I hate it, but at the end of the day, you get to play a game. You get to go to cafeterias where it's fully catered. You know what I mean. You're rich and you don't have to pay for anything, and you get to play a game that we all pay to play outside. You know what I mean. Everybody else, when we want to, we pay to play football. So it's like it's really refreshing to see Jameis very grateful to play, having a lot of fun, not taking it so seriously, and really, like I said, embracing it, enjoying it, and sharing with everybody, and not taking it so serious because at the end of the day, football's fun. Like, that's I think we're missing a lot of that now. I think in basketball and in football now, where like sometimes guys are they don't have a good mix of being like serious and grateful and showing that it's fun. And I think James does a great job. We don't have the Favres and those guys anymore who are just out there giving it their all. I think sometimes and understandably so, these guys aren't going all in because it's going to cost them, $1 billion, like legitimately, like a quarterback playing like Brett Favre and diving head first, like you legitimately could cost yourself $500 million getting hurt,
Yep.
seriously hurt. So it's like, so one thing I do, it hurts the game a little bit. But I understand, and it's great to see Jameis out there. He's a backup. He's having fun. I mean, he was a number one overall pick, and he's been bouncing around. But yeah, so it was very fun. They almost beat him. I mean, that Christian Washington touchdown was amazing. Like,
It was.
it
It
was like
was.
a high snap. Jordan Love caught it, literally like caught it, threw it at
I'm
the.
starting Christian Watson for the rest of the season
Well, they
because
don't have Kraft. I think somebody else went down.
he's a big play guy. You know
They
what I'm
take
saying?
shots to
So
him a lot. Yeah.
last one before dog of the week. Factor cap. Atlanta needs to clean house and fire everybody.
Uh, I guess, yeah, it's that time. I guess it's just not working out for him. I don't really think Raheem Morris is a bad coach, maybe just a better coordinator. He got put in weird positions. They signed Kirk Cousins and then they drafted Penix. I don't know.
And that's the thing too, and that's fucked because Penix is going to be out for the rest of the year with a partially torn ACL. This will be his third torn ACL. How do you draft a guy in the top 10 that's already got 2 torn ACLs in college
After you paid a guy
after you
franchise
paid
money,
Kirk Cousins $40 million a year to come be your quarterback? Like they from top to bottom, GM down, they need to go. There's way too much talent on that Atlanta roster for them to be 3-7 or 3-8 or whatever they are. Um, because You have Drake London, you have Kyle Pitts, you got Bijan Robinson, you got AJ Terrell. Like you have so much talent on that team, and you're 3-8. That's that's a problem. And yeah, no, that whole organization needs to be overturned and just completely gutted.
It is
Because
just bad.
they're
I mean, it's a lot of bad coaches. They made some bad decisions, but they got a quality roster. They got some good players. I think they get a
yeah,
good head coach in there. They'll be okay.
they're gonna need a quarterback because I mean, yeah, they got a $45 million quarterback, sitting on the bench now. But I mean, look, three torn ACLs is a lot. It's a lot. And you put all your eggs in a basket on a first round pick, and you don't even have a first round pick this year coming up because you traded it to fucking LA. So what do you do? What do you do?
It's going to be an interesting offseason.
All right, Sean, who was your week 11 dog of the week?
I know you'll like this one because he ruined my fantasy hopes. So I'm going to go Michael Thomas, the Arizona
Michael
Cardinals.
Wilson.
Michael Wilson, sorry, not Michael Thomas. In Marvin Harrison's absence, so it was doubly fucked me. He sat out, and then his replacement put me to bed. But in a fantasy game I needed, I think 16 catches, 15,
It was
16
like
catches
15 catches for
for like a buck
186
80.
yards,
He didn't get a touchdown, but that didn't
which
stop
is
him.
I was like that whole game. I was like, what the fuck? He
But
was throwing
he
it to
he balled
Trey.
out. It was nice to see some of these, But who do you have?
Josh Allen. I mean, six total touchdowns, three in the air, three rushing. I mean, what for me, Josh Allen it's like Jekyll and Hyde, man. Like which Josh Allen are you that's gonna show up on the field on Sunday? Are you gonna get the six touchdown Josh Allen, which is becoming kind of a norm? Maybe not six, but definitely multiple passing and a rushing touchdown. Or are you gonna get a guy that looks like he doesn't even belong out on the football field because he's making some of the weirdest decisions you'll ever see, but he gets away with it. I don't know though, man. Six total touchdowns is hard to do in this league. Um, and I was gonna pick Michael Wilson. I just didn't want to. I didn't want to rub it in. Uh, but Josh Allen is my dog of the week this week.
All right. Well, I forgot to say at the beginning, like, follow, subscribe if you made it to the end. Um, Realistically, a lot of people do. I mean, we don't get too many watchers, but I can see like how much of the video people watching they do. I gotta remind myself to say at the beginning, but again, like, follow, subscribe, and we will see you guys next week. Hopefully, after another Bears victory, possibly retiring Aaron Rodgers. Adios.
Bear down.